What's going on, Leo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you are having the most amazing month so far. You know, hold on, let me get into this first. For those of you who returned, I was just about to really just go for it, Leo. Welcome back, Little Drive. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Leo. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. Harry Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey because, Leo, it is Celestial News Monthly. I did it, Leo. Look at that. I figured out how to do fireworks. Isn't that fantastic? I've been waiting for that literally for like 2 weeks now, Leo. It's been, but Leo, with this monthly spread, that just sent raised my vibration through the roof, Leo. When your ruler moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Leo, let's jump into it. Low-key, at first for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to work? And it's like, okay. But Leo, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here, Leo. Now I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with each of the signs that your ruler and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card for this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Leo, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation, okay? Ooh, interesting. And in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some readers that I like watching there, Leo, and an astrologer that I like watching. I got links for apps and things that I like using, just all the tools for you, Leo. That description box is lit. So definitely check that out for you. Or definitely check that out. I got a whole bunch of stuff there for you. But Leo, let's talk about, because Cap's having a pretty big old party that's happening in their sign. Look at Capricorn. Because you have your ruler that's entering Capricorn. Mercury's going to be doing a retro. Mercury's going to be doing a lot for the next, at least for your birthday season. And then we have Mars that's entering your sign. And then we got Pluto that's getting ready to wrap up. This is the last season that Pluto's going to be in your sign until then when we get to Aquarius, we're going to officially be settled in there, Leo. But let's talk about your ruler there first, because the sun is going to be entering Capricorn on the 21st of December, and that'll be about 10:27 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, keep that in mind there, Leo. And then we'll be there through the 20th of January 2024. And with this energy, Leo, this is really great for setting and achieving long-term goals. And you may feel a stronger drive to excel in professional endeavors, a heightened sense of responsibility, and a willingness to take leadership or take on leadership roles. Because Capricorn is a very ambitious, very structured sign, very disciplined, and I feel like a very patient sign too. Because being ruled by Saturn, one of the things that Saturn covers is time. You have to be patient with Saturn, because Saturn is one that you got to put in that work in order for him to reward you. So, but that just makes Capricorn energy more driven, so you'll definitely be in a more kind of accomplishing type of energy there. This really is a dope type of energy, I feel like, that we're getting in as far as like getting things set for the future. But because Capricorn is probably the hardest working sign of the zodiac, this is one thing we want to make sure that we're balancing out our work life and our personal life, Leo. We want to have that work smart, play smart balance. We don't want to get to this state of burnout or anything along those lines. Now, with Mercury's going to be retrograde. I'll talk about Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius in a little bit, but Mercury will be back in your sign on the 13th of January. And with Mercury being in Capricorn, that's like getting our mindset into that sort of future type of energy there, getting, thinking about, very similar to the sun, just it gets us in that sort of like planning stage and get us thinking about, planning any strategies, getting things structured, and just getting all that stuff organized, and, get all your ducks in a row there, Leo. And then we have Mars that's in Capricorn. That's like, this is a really big party that Cap is throwing. I think they've thrown the biggest party so far. But Mars is going to enter Cap on the 4th of January. And with this, Leo, you may find yourself, more adept at like managing schedules, prioritizing tasks, and maximizing productivity. So really work with this energy. If you really want to, maybe we're thinking about changing careers, or maybe we're trying to get a business started up, or whatever that's looking like, definitely work with this. And you may notice a heightened drive to excel in one's career, and this can be a very rewarding time for diligently like pursuing your goals in a sense. So again, keeping that focus there, Leo, is going to really pay off in the long run. With Capricorn energy, it's not about that quick type of like, those, instant gratifications. This is one that we appreciate the growth along the way, because they are a very wise sign too. It's one that Capricorn energy is kind of like a what do they call it? Like a late bloomer in a sense. But when they bloom, man, I mean, it's just a whole garden. And then last little energy there we have, well, not little. Let me not diminish that. Otherwise, Pluto might get upset, because Pluto is going to be in Capricorn until Aquarius season, the 20th of January. And with this, Leo, now when we get into like outer planets, this, yes, it affects us on an individual level, of course, and that's going to be more so with like the aspects that it forms with your sign. Pluto's been doing some shenanigans with my moon sign here over the last couple, since he went retrograde. But these outer energies from like Jupiter, I'll throw in that mix too, from pretty much like Jupiter on down, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. This is something that we really do feel on a more global type of level there. But you may notice that the soul tribe kind of becomes more ambitious, more resourceful, and determined to achieve their goals. Because I feel like Pluto in Capricorn is a very strong energy for Pluto to be in, being that Pluto's about that power, that the tenacity, coupled that with Capricorn. It's brilliant. But we may also notice, and which, I mean, things have already been going on to that, but there could even be more. Leads to shifting global economy, exposing weaknesses in existing, and even, exposing weaknesses in like existing financial structures. Just a whole economic reevaluation. So something to be mindful of. Oh, excuse me. Something to be mindful of there, Leo. Oh, hold on, let me get some tea there. And then let's go ahead and get into your first card here, Leo, because you have the Banish a Curse card here. And so, Leo, I feel that this energy is asking you over this next month, especially with you being in such a hardworking sign. And Capricorn is one energy that, even though they are a very strong sign, very principled and things like that, Capricorn does have they tend to keep their feelings bottled up there. Any sort of doubts, fears, anything along those lines, they like to keep that stuff kind of tucked in and like kind of pushed down and repressed and suppressed. And so I feel that this energy here is just paying attention to any sort of negative vibrations that we find ourselves getting into while we're working on whatever it is that you want to accomplish in the foreseeable future there, Leo. And also just getting in this practice of when you find yourself in that negative space, trying to make sure to counteract that with some positive energy, some, where it may not take away from the situations that we may not be able to control what happens to us most, sometimes, but we can control how we feel about it, and how we can take these experiences and these challenges and things and make them work for our favor. So I feel that's one thing, but I even feel that there's this sort of like removal of any sort of, whether this be situations, relationships, things that tend to just kind of bring you down, that keep you almost like, It's almost like that, because when you think about our words and thoughts and things, it's all spellings, spells that we're casting. And when you find yourself in those loops and you notice that a certain, let's say, situation and, environment, relationships keep you in that, I feel like it's maybe not necessarily cutting out completely, like just snipping relationships and things left and right, but at least putting up some boundaries between you there, Leo. Just because, let's say, we're in like a gossiping environment, for example, that doesn't, just because it's happening around you, that doesn't mean we necessarily have to participate in it and lower that vibration as well. So I feel like that you're just gonna be, this feels like very kind of mental energy. I feel like that's going to be kind of challenged here, or be maybe a little challenging here for you, Leo. But I feel like it's one of those things. Working on this stuff will be worth it in the long run there. But let's go ahead and get some tarot on this and get some details. Thank you. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting, Leo. You got Okay, no, but I dig this though. You have the Two of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and then the King of Swords here, Leo. And where are we starting? Let's start with this energy here, Leo, because the 8 and 9 of Swords, these are some intense energies that are coming through here. The 8 of Swords is like this, keeping ourselves, like, keep things that keep us in, keeping us from expanding, ways that we may pigeonhole ourselves or keep ourselves in a cage. This could be maybe some sort of self-doubt. This could be, again, maybe some curses. And I want to be mindful with like the curses that we're talking about here, because it could just be just any sort of negative vibrations that we're talking about, like any sort of fears or anxieties or anything along those lines. Those sort of, like, even like those, for some, I feel like if we find ourselves in like a self-deprecating type of energy here, I feel that when with the King of Swords here, when we get in this practice of paying attention to how our thoughts affect our vibration, affect our ability to take or not to take action, then I feel that it's there's this wisdom that's coming through here with the King of Swords, like this learning through experience and just being, I feel, really present with where your mind's at, because you got a lot of energy here. I feel with the Ace of Wands is the purest form of fire, and honestly, even this Two of Wands here, this is a very pure form of fire too. This is Mars and Aries, and Mars rules over Aries. This is Aries' hottest card, at least in the minors, and I feel that there's a choice here with the Two of Wands, or where, as far as to where you want to put your energies. Do we want to rise above these negative type of swords energies? Is that duality? Because both the 8 and 9 of Swords are Gemini's cards, and it's like, do we want to focus on that negative mentality, or do we want to shift to that positive? And it's just like, how do we get this to where I feel like we're operating at a just really kind of sharp here, Leo, is what I even kind of feel. Is like we're sort of, I'm getting like the devil vibes here, but not in the sense of like necessarily the toxicity or the vices part of it, but it is that hard work that comes to play that keeps you pushing. Because I feel like, working on the mind is a tricky thing sometimes there, Leo. You can be in the highest vibration, but every now and again it kind of dips back in there, and it's just that diligence that I feel is coming through here with the King of Swords. And this is just I feel like a great opportunity for you, especially if you've been feeling in that space, or if you find yourself in that space, to redirect your energies to something different. And I feel even with this curse, Leo, that for some it's like we may have told ourselves that we can't accomplish something. Maybe we can't become like an expert in a certain field, or that there's always going to be someone better than you. It's almost like a Five of Swords energy that's coming through here. And yeah, just a lot of, I feel like this really could be a great season for overcoming these personal hurdles, like these sort of like insecurities and things. And then for order for you, how we're talking about Capricorn being a slow burn, kind of blossoming into a garden, keep it so that you can blossom into your truest self as well there, Leo. So I'm with that. I feel like that's a really dope start there. All right, Leo. Now, let's talk about Sag. Because you got, now we're going to backtrack. Because now we got Mercury's going to be going retrograde from Capricorn into Sagittarius before it moves back into Capricorn on the 13th. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. But there might be a smoother way to do that there, Leo. See, this is what happens when you're the first one. I kind of work out the kinks with you. But you got, yeah, Mercury that's going to be retrograde in Sag. You have Venus that's entering Sagittarius. And that is it, Leo. And with Mercury's going to go retrograde in Sagittarius on the 23rd of December. And will be retrograde until the 1st of January. And with this, there may be a stronger inclination to reflect on beliefs and bigger questions in life, because Sagittarius is that pursuit of higher learning, the pursuit of expansion, of experience things that have never been felt by them before, in order to get them to this higher place. So in retrogrades as well, they're really not meant to be this sort of like super scary thing that all is doom and gloom during this time. This is where the energy slows down and just allows us to reevaluate how we're working with the energies, and how we've been moving, what we need to adjust in order to get to this state of wisdom, have that sharpness that I was talking about. But also too, just even thinking with that, one thing with Mercury with retrogrades, or with Mercury retrogrades, is that sometimes technology can be a little wonky there. You may find delays in your emails, even like regular mails there. If we find ourselves, and again, not that you can't do these things, but it's just something to pay attention to. We may notice delays in travel as well, just because Mercury can deal with that short-term travel as well, where Jupiter deals with long-term, as far as like, let's say, going from continent to continent. Mercury's more so for like maybe going from like city to, or going from like your town to your city to your, seeing the states and things along those lines, and advancing slowly. So just something to pay attention to. There might be some delays in travels and things, but and you may find yourself serving up a word salad there. Communication can be a little tricky during a retrograde, so just something to be mindful of there. But also, naturally, while I'm talking, I think I pretty much just covered all that, because you double check for travel plans and be prepared for potential delays and changes. But in considering that Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius, I feel like, miscommunications and understandings are very important and something to be mindful of, just because Sagittarius is a very honest sign, and where honesty is dope, sometimes that could come across a bit harsh sometimes. So we just want to be aware of, just be very thoughtful and mindful of how we're delivering our speech there, Leo. And then you have Venus, the Empress, entering into Sagittarius on the 29th of December. And with this energy, Leo, there may be a desire for excitement and new experiences in romantic relationships. Maybe you want to, if you happen to be in a relationship, maybe you want to go traveling, or maybe you want to, I don't know, just try something new, go on an adventure. This is a really, I feel like, optimistic energy for relationships. And this can even influence your approach to how you approach love and relationships. And kind of like forging a sense of hope and possibility if you do find yourself not in a relationship. Maybe you might feel a little more kind of feel a little more brave, feel a little more kind of gregarious, a little more confident. Because I think Leo energy is already very confident, very bold, but then add that Sagittarius flavor on top of that. This, I feel like, one, you can really kind of turn the charm on there, Leo. Turn that charisma, really just if you're looking for love there, Leo. But this is also too favorable for relationships that involve travel. So maybe we're doing some stuff because Venus deals with more than just romantic relationships. Maybe this is like for, setting up for like a business meeting possibly, or maybe we want to go out and visit some friends. Maybe we're kind of scattered throughout there, Leo. And so this could be something too to kind of strengthen those relationships. Set up a trip, or maybe you're all gonna kind of go meet up at one place, and we're kind of spread throughout there. So something to think about. And the nice thing with this energy too is that depending on where your Leo placements are at, this is forming a trine with your sign. And trines are very fast moving energies. They remove obstacles out of the way there, Leo. And can be very, especially being that it's happening with Venus being a benefic planet. This can be very, very positive energy that comes through. And trines are very lucky, very fortunate type of stuff, very collaborative energy. So definitely utilize that to your advantage there, Leo. I feel like a lot of cool things can come from this. But let's go ahead and get your tarot on this, or excuse me, get your oracle card on this. All right, Leo. I dig this. So you have the healing energy here. You know, I feel with this energy here, Leo, that I feel that this could be one for you where it's like we're taking that sort of like, once I feel like we start getting into that again, once like doing that sort of like the banishing of the things that tend to lower our vibration, that tends to bring in energies for us to do some healing. Maybe there's some healing in our relationships. Maybe we've been sort of in this hermit type of energy, and now this gives you a chance to get out there and enjoy the relationships that you have in your journey and how they have helped you grow. Or this can be even too just kind of helping others as well with your energy, Leo, because I always feel like Leo is one that does have this, you have that being ruled by the sun, you have that kind of just natural glow, that uplifting energy that just you light up a space there, Leo. And I feel that this is something that as you start working on this sort of like this, if we have some sort of like insecurity, self confidence, things along those lines, to do some self care and to. Because again, Capricorn season doesn't just have to be about where granted they are a very career driven sign. This is just be anything that you want to accomplish. Maybe want to be more bold and feel more confident, or maybe we want to start up a hobby. Do some things that I don't know, just like incorporating some different sort of like healing, even like hobbies, whether this be through art, because you are, in my opinion, being that you are associated with the fifth house. Leo energy is the most in for me the most creative sign of the zodiac. Yours is one that brings joy and happiness and things, and I feel like that's what it's kind of bringing in your life. Trying to get these accomplishments while like having this, I don't know, like it's like while we're it's interesting, it's like there's this, let me get some tarot on this and see if I can find the words for this, Leo. Because it's like it's this healing energy through accomplishments in a sense, but let's see what's going on here, Leo. Alright, so you have the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Tower card here, Leo. Now let's talk about this Tower. Because with the Tower here, Mars energy, I feel that again, this is a chance for you, I feel, to do some really good, to not just go through these changes and to just like be in just like a hard working energy, but I feel like this work that you're doing is doing this kind of simultaneous thing, is pulling this, getting this sense of fulfillment as well here, Leo, because it's interesting with this 4 and 5 of cups here, because I feel with the 4 of cups that maybe for some we've been maybe a little bored with maybe where the journey has been, or maybe we've been disappointed because we expected to be at a certain level here of accomplishments and things like that, or we've maybe set aside some goals that we wanted but just haven't quite hit that mark. And I feel like the tower here is this sort of like this motivating kind of like epiphany energy for you to start really get in this planning type of state, instead of being in that sort of like that self-deprecating. Even this 4 of cups is giving me this sort of like disinterested, or like you don't, not necessarily that you don't care, but it's just like that we've just expected to be, it's almost like we kind of settled in to things just being the way they are. But I feel like the Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands is saying like we've just maybe reached a rough patch, because the 6 of Wands can be this card of celebration and recognition, but in order to get to that celebration where the people are, because usually it's like a person kind of riding in and their town is celebrating them for this accomplishments. I feel like it's, in order to get to that place, we need to take some time and kind of map things out a little bit and enjoy and appreciate the accomplishments that are happening along the way from the work that you're putting in here with the tower. We're working on changing some type of foundation here, putting this healing energy. And it's not like, I don't necessarily feel like it's just like a self-care type of thing. This is almost like this healing energy is like a motivational type of things, that when we put in these actions, we feel kind of, we get this sense of pride, and not in like a vain way, but it's just like you look at your work and it's just like, dope, that's amazing. Okay, like now I can keep, and like it's like that realization that it's like, okay, like this is what makes me feel good, and then I can keep doing that, feeding into that energy, kind of supplementing out, removing these curses that may have been almost like I feel branded in a sense there, Leo. And it's just like just raising this vibration through the roof there. But I do feel with the Knight of Pentacles as well, is that remembering that like with Capricorn energy, it's one that we do need to be patient. And patience is not just that energy of just having to endure and just being this unbearable energy. It's what we're doing with the in that space while things are kind of coming together here and getting to this bigger win with the 6 of Wands. And I even feel too, Leo, with this 6 of Wands, one more thing is that being around people who really lift you up, and I feel like just like spreading that energy around there too, showing this appreciation, and not just doing it just because you expect that from this person, but be just like kind of showing this gratitude in a sense. And like it's giving me this 6 of Pentacles, that like the people you're surrounded, a lot of loving energy I'm kind of getting through here, Leo. So again, with that Venus being in Sagittarius, Mercury being in Sagittarius, just like I feel like a lot of great stuff can potentially come here through this season. But it is going to be one that's going to be, we got to put a little work there. But I like that, Leo. Let's put that there. And then let's get to Taurus. Because you have, in the Knight of Pentacles, that is, for me, that's Taurus energy. But you have, what's going on in Taurus? We got Jupiter, that's it. Finally, Big Papa's out of retrograde in Taurus. And then we have Uranus that's still doing his retrograde dance, but it's fine. We don't judge Uranus. Not out loud. But Jupiter is would have gone direct, is going to go direct on the 30th of December, and will be there in Taurus until pretty much the end of towards the end of May. But with Big Papa being in Jupiter, this encourages a steady and measured approach to achieving your goals. Because Taurus, like Capricorn being an Earth sign, they're the builders of the zodiac. They really grow, and have when they I always feel like Taurus almost kind of reminds me of like the gardeners in the sense, like they really do. Just wherever I feel like whatever they touch, it just kind of just can bloom there. Just it's just really wonderful energy. But this can be one too that can bring opportunities for financial growth and for like an increase in like material well-being as well, considering that Taurus does deal with like finances and material goods. But this is also good too, like when we find that, because ultimately Taurus is a big one of the big traits with them is they're about security. And I feel like once we have that security in whether that be emotional, financial, whatever that's looking like, then that does raise that self-esteem, and that we're getting in that healing energy space there. But also, this is really great for thinking about investments, say in savings, and in just in long-term planning, because Taurus is one that's again very similar to Capricorn, is not about those sort of quick fixes and things. This is things that are going to change for the long term there, reestablishing or reevaluating our foundation here, there, Leo. So just something to think about there. But then Uranus is going to be retrograde in Taurus, or excuse me, yeah, it's going to be retrograde until the 27th of January. And with this encourages us to revisit and potentially revise our core beliefs and attitudes towards wealth, possessions, and what you truly value, because Uranus brings about these kind of radical, kind of extreme changes. Uranus just loves throwing curveballs. So this is just like we're in a, and that's can be a little tricky there, being in a fixed sign that is Taurus, which not that they don't like change, but I feel like it can be a little trickier with them. But I feel like when we embrace that innovative energy that Uranus brings, that that we can bring to our wealth, our accumulating material resources and things, and doing the stuff that truly speaks to us, Leo, it can bring a lot of stability in the long term there as we start to evolve towards this, whatever this newer future is looking like. Because I feel like this is going to be very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to, I know it's a little ways out, but I feel like 2025 is going to be a very fascinating year going for, especially when Uranus moves. But, and depending on where this placements, or depending where your Leo placements are at, and Jupiter, I want to say is about, I want to say he goes into about maybe the 5th degree before he goes back direct, so you'll need your time of birth for that. But this is forming a square with your sign, depending on where your placements are at. And squares can be tougher energies. They bring about delays, challenges, just kind of slows down the energies, but that doesn't mean we can't get that sense of achievement. Now, with Jupiter, it's going to be more kind of a benefit. It'll be a little bit easier dealing with that energy, but Uranus is a malefic planet, so that's going to be a tougher one that to potentially. But thankfully, Uranus is towards the tail end there, so unless we have some kind of later Leo placements, then that might be something to think about. I actually have a couple more. I actually have my Mars and my Venus are on my Mars at the 25th, and my Venus is in the 28th degree of Leo, so I'm gonna get a little trickiness there towards the end, but just something to be aware of that, Leo. But let's go ahead and get your oracle card for this energy. See what's going on here. Oh, yeah, dope. All right, Leo. I love that. So you got the courage card here. Look at you, almighty. This is basically a strength card there, Leo. And with this courage card, I feel that this is a really great energy for you to, because your reading is giving this sort of like self-esteem energy, this really kind of like not limiting yourself. Like it's not even like the skies is the limit, it's just like you decide what the limit is. I feel like you can have this illimitable options here, but I feel like we're going to need the courage to tackle these challenges with this tower here, to embrace that the energies need to change, to come into this sense of accomplishments and prestige, and really kind of, I really feel like it's like showing yourself, not even anyone else there, Leo. It's doing this for you and doing things that just make you just appreciating your work, and how that raises your vibration through the roof. And in kind, you being in that energy, I feel, is one that it inspires others to take lead. You don't necessarily have to be like a leader in the sense of like you have to be in front and like telling everybody, guiding everyone. Sometimes just leading by example is a very powerful skill there, Leo. And I feel like yours is one that it just can do it so naturally. I feel like especially when you're in your element there. But yeah, it's taking that leap, that Ace of Wands energy, and just going for whatever it is that you want to change, and what areas that you want to grow in there, Leo. Very, very inspirational. And that might even be something too there, Leo. Just one more thing. Maybe even looking to, and this could be maybe watching different like motivational things, whether this be like kind of like life coaches, or just like things that just get you in that inspirational kind of driven sort of energy. Maybe even, I'm even hearing this music, Leo, things that just get you pumped up. Maybe even starting your day off with this sense of gratitude, but maybe doing some meditations, as far as like starting your day off in that mindset. And then maybe even going to, before you're going to bed, maybe even put a picture of a lion in front of you there to Leo, or somewhere that's visible, so that you can embody that energy. Just but let's get some tarot on this. See what's going on with that. Oh, is that your ruler? I see. It sure is. Love that. Fantastic, Leo. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, and the Empress. What? So Leo, oh, and it's the grown Empress too. I'm with it, cause Leo. Oh, and that's interesting, cause I think you got this last time. You definitely got So let me tell you what energies you got here. You got the Two of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Empress, and the Sun card here, Leo. And the thing with this deck is that there are two of Cups and two Empresses, and I know two Empresses. Can you imagine? That was a sidebar. That was a lovely surprise when I went through this deck. I was like, get out of here, spoiled by Venus. But I like that you did get the older Empress, because the one in this, because there is a difference between those two. And this one is a more this Empress is more, I feel like, feels more confident in what she's doing. She knows how to manifest her abundance in order to take her ideas and to take her dreams and things, and really, really manifest that, do stuff that raises her vibration through the roof. And I do feel that there is, with this healing, because that's interesting, Leo, because you got the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords here. But, so I feel like there is some, it could be some potentially heavy work there, Leo, that we may be working on, as far as like trying to what's the word that I'm looking for? To almost like to undo maybe a certain mindsets that we in, or maybe there's even like a certain situation that we came to where we've been in a low place for a while. And I feel like that, because I love this, the Sun and the Empress being here. This is, I feel like, it's like you shining in all of this glory, even, I feel like, in a sense. You really kind of coming out at the end of this, feeling this, like, even if we don't necessarily feel like we have like $1,000,000, let's say, but just feeling like that. And I feel like once you get in that sort of vibration, that attracts more of that to you. I even feel like paying attention to how you even carry yourself, kind of, because I remember when I was looking at my chart, or really first looked at my chart, and I saw all that, Leo, and I was kind of really starting to learn about all that stuff. I really kind of leaned into that, or have been making sure to lean into that, to be in that carry that air of confidence. Even on my sun signs in Cancer, but to and by that, especially being like a Leo rising, I'll, you know, kind of be in that kind of sunlight energy there. And I feel the sun here too is even kind of shining lights on your strengths there, Leo, and not focusing just on your weaknesses, you know, because it's one thing to, I feel like it's good to have eyes on those things, but they're not meant to be these limited type of, or not meant to keep you limited. These ideas that we may have of ourselves that, you know, that just keep us low. They're meant to be indicators to provide self care, that healing energy, nurture that stuff. Even the Empress, Two of Cups and the Empress, that is very nurturing energy, but it's feeding this, it's feeding this transformation, something I feel like really wonderful here. You really kind of shining bright and coming into, starting to come into your true potential there, Leo. So I love that. Dope. Yeah, that's fantastic, Leo. I love that your ruler popped up here. Alrighty. All these swords. Now, Leo, let's get into this last energy here, which is Pisces. Because we have Saturn that is in Pisces and Neptune is in Pisces. And both of them are going to be in Pisces. Granted, they're going to be doing retrograde stuff in between, but Saturn is going to, let's start with Saturn, because Saturn will be in Pisces until May 25th, 2025. And with this energy, this can encourage this can encourage us to apply intuitive insights practically and really making them more useful. Saturn energy is like, it's, I almost feel like that this is like, it's like a training our intuitive energies in a sense there, Leo, which I feel like Saturn in Pisces is a very dope energy to be in. And this too really supports a more kind of structured approach to spiritual practices and towards inner growth. So maybe doing some meditation, you know, finding out, banishing these curses, you know, getting into maybe doing some Reiki just popped into mind there, Leo, working with crystals or doing some guided meditations, getting out in nature, you know, however it is that you can connect with source and getting that into the structure there, and really start getting this intuitive wisdom. I feel like coming through here with this King of Swords, even like that Tower energy, just intuitively knowing where to take action there, Leo. And then you have Neptune that's going to be in Pisces until the 30th of March 2025. And Neptune was one of Pisces rules along with Big Papa, but this is a nice place for Neptune to be, and she's been in there for like the last like 12 years, I want to say, or so. But this can lead to greater sensitivity to spiritual and metaphysical realms there, because Neptune's like that divine ocean, that universal type of energy. They have this great compassion for the soul tribe. And Pisces is a very sensitive energy, but it's kind of similar to Cancer, where that sensitivity is not meant to be a weakness. It's once you get in touch with that and learn to tune into that vibration, that sensitivity becomes a strength there, Leo. And this really can be too conducive to various forms of creative endeavors, because Neptune can deal with that fantasy realm, those dreams. And so this can be really, I feel like, a wonderful energy for you to, you know, express yourself there, Leo. And that can be some very healing energy for you too, whether this be through dance, through cooking, through art, through sculpting, through music, whatever, gardening, just being in that active creativity. A little sidebar there, Leo, I've actually been just when I find little moments and pockets and things, just to kind of incorporate and just making some music again, just getting into that. And just even if you carve out 5-10 minutes, whatever that's looking like, wherever you find yourself, some space, not even doing, instead of maybe maybe we have a tendency to kind of just be scrolling through the internet, you know, just doing something else with those times, kind of breaking things up, and just see how that just expands your world there, Leo. But let's get your last oracle card here and see what's going on with that. Ooh, and I dig this, Leo. Look at Taurus. This looks basically Taurus. You got the willpower card here, Leo. And I like this that you're ending on this energy. It's like we started banishing these curses, we started doing some healing, we found the courage, and now it's taking that courageous energy, and now we're sustaining that, keeping that drive, that tenacity, that perseverance to get towards this sunlight here. It's giving me this very sort of like King of Wands type of energy. I feel like once he really focuses on something, he has so much energy to give. You focus on that thing and then bam, I feel like it's again, it's off to the races here. But this is something that I feel is going to, because you know how it is, Leo. There's always, the energies wax and wane, and it's when we're in that waning phase is how we deal with these. That's where I feel like we really have the potential to shine bright and show ourselves what we're really made of. And there may be times, Leo, where you do feel like giving up, or you may need to take a step back, and that's fine. It's meeting yourself where you're at in that moment and knowing that it is all part of the divine process there. And it's just like, it's not letting again that energy defeat you. It's just like, okay, what do we learn from this thing in order to get ourselves back into to focus and to find that drive again. Just because we may get a little derailed sometimes, that doesn't mean that that just you failed or anything like that. That just means that you're going through a human experience there, Leo. But you do have the I feel like you really are have the energy to accomplish whatever you set your mind to. So, but let's get your last tarot cards here. Wrap this thing up, Leo. Okay, Leo. Oh, man. All right, Leo, Major Arcana City. Oh, speaking of Taurus, love that. So you have, like for real, you have the Ten of Wands, the Hierophant, the Magician, the World, the Moon, and the High Priestess here. All these lunar shenanigans. Let's switch back over here, Leo, because this is lit. This is one where I do feel like with that Ten of Wands, and I like that popped up with that willpower here, because there again there are gonna be times where we're gonna really feel kind of challenged there, and we're gonna need that discipline that Saturn, the World card here, asks you for. And I love that too. That Saturn popped up here with Pisces. So look at that, divinely guided. But you are being divinely guided because with the moon card here, I feel like this is journeying into the unknown to kind of apply these healing energies, whatever this is, to, and it's like having that courage to face these, whatever this insecurity is, this doubts and things, and face them head on. And I feel with like it's with the high priestess and even the magician energy, it's like you creating this reality, you really listening to that intuitive energy that you do have, and just manifesting and letting that permeate throughout your world here, Leo. Really kind of communing with the divine, because the Hierophant is this conduit between the material and the divine realm. They're this bridge in a sense. And I even feel with this Hierophant here that for some there might even be you kind of coming in. I feel like this is you, Leo, kind of coming into this teacher type of energy here. Like, and we may not be like actively doing it, like doing like, how do I want to put that? It's not that you're becoming a teacher, but I feel that you working on yourself in a way, it just like in it, I feel like others are going to kind of look to you for this wisdom that you're going through there, Leo. And there's going to be this needing, like you kind of sharing this kind of uplifting type of energy here to, I don't know, just you raising the vibration here, because that's even interesting too, that you got the Hierophant and the High Priestess, divine counterparts, very powerful, intuitive divine counterparts. And yeah, Leo, I just feel like this is a very kind of potent energy here with all these majors popping up here. So I feel there's a lot of, as you start to work on yourself, I feel like your connection with source starts to get a lot stronger, a lot more potent, and then these barriers start removing from you, just the energy start moving a lot smoother in a sense. We can, but again, remembering too with the High Priestess, she's the moon card, and that's about these cycles, these waxing and waning cycles. And I'm even getting this energy too of kind of paying attention to even like the lunar cycles in a sense, and being in that sort of like intentional state of manifestation. So I really like this, Leo. So I think this is one. I think I'm gonna leave that there, but I feel like this could be a very wonderful month of growth here for you. So work with these energies. But if you like that, Leo, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Leo, if you know someone who's been maybe in this sort of like low self-esteem energy, needing to do some healing, needed to find this courage within. Share this, Leo. And then subscribe there, you got a whole bunch, you magician. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit there, Leo, if you got any Cancer in your placements, got our ruler here, the High Priestess, but you got Cancer in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus. Come on over to the Jared and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans, High Priestess, the moon. Love that. And it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Leo. And I love that. You got the Knight of Wands, and that's for me, Leo. That's your energy there, this Knight of Wands coming through. And the Knight of Wands is one that just has this sort of, this infectious energy, this I feel like once he finds something that really excites him or something that he's really passionate about, he just goes at it with this fervor that is just like, he's just unstoppable there. But I do feel with him though, this Knight of Wands, because he does have that, like a lot of energy that he can bring, is to try not to rush the process in a sense, that things do happen and are going to happen in divine timing. And it's just like, it's going to, I feel like it's being strategic here with that, how you got the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands here. So you got the slowest Knight, the Knight of Pentacles, and a faster Knight, the Knight of Wands, just finding that balance. It's like taking that time to do some stuff and do some healing in between. And I feel like once you really get in that flow, you can be unstoppable there, Leo. Now let's get your other oracle card here. Ooh, interesting, Leo. Alright, so you have the Orphaned card here. And I feel like there are going to be times where you do feel, of course, you're going to feel kind of down to earth, because it's even giving me like a Five of Pentacles vibe. Did you get the Five of Pentacles? I don't think you did, Leo. No, I don't think you did. But there are going to be times where I feel like, especially when we find ourselves alone, I feel like sometimes that we might get back into that sort of that Eight of Wands, or excuse me, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords type of energy, where we feel kind of distraught or feel a little defeated, maybe in a sense there. And again, it's not meant to keep you in that sort of like, when we do find ourselves, maybe having made a mistake, or, kind of like find ourselves maybe even stuck with the situation there. It's the taking the time and be in that energy, evaluate what's going on, and then learn from these experiences here, Leo. Because I feel like the Knight of Wands too, he's one that's sort of like similar to like the Knight of Swords. He's a kind of like a one that tends to rush, but quick to move, but not doesn't take sit long enough to reflect. So just taking some time in that energy too there, Leo. And if some of you, if you feel like you're alone in this journey, you have the Six of Wands there, and I feel like you are more supported than you realized here. But I even feel too that it's where it is nice having that soul tribe to motivate you. I feel we want to be able to find that energy from within as well, because the Magician reminds us that we have all the tools that we need within us. We don't need to look outside of ourselves for that. So just a little something to think about there. Leo. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So what a lovely reading that was. But you stay safe out there, Leo, with this with all this growth. I feel like it's coming through here, and keep the courage, this willpower, and raise your vibration through the roof. Two of Cups, Empress, healing energy. Just make sure to take care of yourself in between all of this. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.